what it do? Make that like button blue. Sub if you new. Hey, what it do? Make that like button blue. Sub if you new.
Hello, salutations. What it do? It's Sadot the Gamer, all father, durag gang, and the vibes like a scribe. Let's get it. Happy Wednesday, Durag Nation. We're back once again for our weekly roundup, where we will be chatting mostly about Marvel Spider-Man 2, what's been going on in the news, and what we could expect going forward. What's up, everybody? Keys, Deadline, Dem Light, what up, Bob Ross? Love your paintings. What's up, Mace? The Dark Boy, Cap Tay, Last of Understanding, what it do? Small Kid. What's up, Chris, Ibrahim? No art zoo today, but maybe tomorrow, actually. What's up, Victor? How you doing? Frog, Jay. Shamiqua, what up, what up? What up, Drew? Spider-Man in the building, how you feeling? How's everyone feeling? How's everyone in Durag Nation feeling today? I know if you're working, you're probably happy the week is almost over. Friday is a couple of days away. What's up, Amani? What's up, Stephanie? These are, those are suit mods for Spider-Man 2. Definitely go check out the playlist if you're curious. Link is in the description and under my public playlist. Craig in the building. What's up, Craig? Is there any actual news? If there wasn't, I would have nothing to stream about. Feeling good, but you're upset there's no live stream for the Spider-Man 2 conference at San Diego Comic-Con. Exactly. Yep, I reported on that yesterday. I do have a follow-up to that story. And there was also a bit of Spider-Man 2 news that I didn't get to go over yet. I definitely noticed you, Lozy. Small Kid coming through with a 99-cent super chat. Appreciate you. No comment. Just dropping some love. I appreciate you. Ramaj, appreciate you. Thanks for the sub. What's up, Electric Games? So first thing I wanted to go over today was some absolute fire that dropped. I didn't get to cover it in my video yesterday, but it is nonetheless fire. Hot Toys is coming through with some Marvel Spider-Man 2 bars. Goodness. They're coming out with a line. They're coming out with a line of toys. Jay coming through the 99-cent and the smiley face. Appreciate you. They're coming through with some awesome Spider-Man 2 Hot Toys. This one actually gave us extended look at the advanced symbiote suit, the new one with the metal arms, and you see this one has partially the symbiote coming out of it. This is pretty fire. I'm not really a Hot Toys guy. I don't collect toys really anymore, but if I can grab one of these, I might. Yep, these are coming out in the fall, and they are limited quantity. They are limited quantity. I believe they said 2,000 of these only in limited markets, so that's going to be tough. I'm sure Jay Shock Blast will definitely get them. He buys all the toys, even though he has literally no room anymore. They don't have a release date yet, but they did say in the fall, so it should be out around the same time as the game. I would hope so. For that cross motion, that looks clean. Give us some nice details on the suit, because we didn't really get to see much of the advanced suit. You know, we got a little bit of it in the reveal trailer that came out, but we haven't seen the actual gameplay, at least a clear look at it. There was a little bit of a gameplay of the new advanced suit in Across the Spider-Verse, but it was very small, hard to really, you know, see anything clearly. So it's nice that Hot Toys is coming through. What's up, Lord? How you? I'm doing all right. Just joined, so I'm gonna catch you up. You just got here in time. What's my favorite suit so far? I mean, gotta go to Symbiote. It's all about the Symbiote. Small Kids, thank you for the 99 cents once again. Appreciate you. Nava Flow in the building. Welcome. What's up, Whitley? Definitely hope we get another gameplay trailer. These look really cool. And there you see the look of the web wings. Surprisingly, I was very surprised to find out about this. There were apparently people who didn't think that Peter would have the web wings outside of the symbiote suit. I had no idea this was a thing. I thought that was obvious, especially since they said the gliding, there would be cape mechanics to go with the gliding for other outfits. So I'm like, well, of course Peter's going to have the web wings. Of course. Like, what? Why wouldn't he have the web wings on his non-symbiote suit? But yeah, if you were wondering, this is that confirmation for you. Yep, this is the first clear close-up view of the new advanced suit outside of the reveal trailer. This one shows the web wings. This is definitely the first view of Peter with the advanced suit 2.0, which is what they're officially calling it, as well as the web wings. What's up, Alexis? I'm doing good. How are you? Spider-Man 2 is not going to be on PS4. It is PS5 exclusive. And it looks fire. I definitely will say the new suit is an improvement over the other one. I like the advanced suit in Spider-Man PS4, but I do appreciate the subtle details. I think this one is overall better, and I'm really looking forward to the web wings, because based on what we've seen so far, it's going to really speed up traversal, add a nice little element. Can I do a gameplay? I need the game for that. Respect the durag, appreciate it. Think in August we'll get the Game Informer for Spider-Man. Same. Can't believe people thought Peter wasn't going to get the web wings. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, when I heard that, I'm like, really? I understand there was some confusion about whether or not you would get the symbiote suit at the end of the game, because, you know, story-wise, Peter is supposed to lose the suit. And people were wondering, well, will you be able to use it in free roam after the game is over? Because, you know, it's part of skill tree. To me, that's also like, of course you will. Like, they wouldn't go to the trouble of making the symbiote suit and giving it its own skill tree just to not let you use it in free roam after the game's, you know, already over. So I wouldn't worry about that. Who do I think will defeat Kraven? I think Miles Morales is going to be the one that's going to take on Kraven. They're definitely Small Kid 27 coming through with the 99 cents again. Thank you so much. What's up, IDK bro? How you feeling, my friend? The slingshot, I'm glad they're bringing that back. That's going to be another way to speed up the traversal. What did I think about Secret Invasion? We're going to do the review on the After Show podcast on Friday, but spoiler alert, it sucked. I think Peter and Venom are going to be, obviously Peter's going to need help with Venom, but I feel like Miles and Craven are going to really like go at it. Like that's going to be Miles' proving ground. My theory is that Venom is Norman. How's Peter still going to have the symbiote magically after the story is over? I mean, it's a video game. They're just gonna let you have the symbiote, just like even though if you technically finish the main campaign, if you didn't do the side missions, you know, you'll still have members of the demons. You'll still have, you'll still have people being possessed. You'll still have some Sable patrols. It's like, it's a game. Like at the end of the day, they're just going to be like, oh, okay, it's just going to be a suit that you can equip. I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. I mean, if they want to incorporate it in terms of the story, they could always just say, oh, well, Peter figured it out. He figured out how to strike the balance between the symbiote and, not losing his mind. But I think they're really not going to think too much of it. If Norman is Venom, who's going to be Green Goblin? I think even if Norman's Venom, they could still make him Green Goblin. Well, kid, thank you for the 99 cents once again. You're crushing it today. Love you, my friend. I think, my personal opinion is Harry should be Green Goblin, not Norman. I think story-wise, it's much better if he's the Green Goblin. IDK bro coming through with the $4.99. Appreciate you, my friend. Do you think it's going to be deleted in this game? Lots of people are saying Pete. I don't think there's a possibility, obviously, that Pete won't make it, but I think the odds of that are very, very low. Personally, I think Harry is obviously a prime suspect because he's literally dying as we speak, but they could always go MJ. They can go, because she's always getting into trouble. There's Miles's mom. That's always on the table. Norman could not survive. That, to me, that's story-wise would be the best. Like, Norman becomes Venom. He doesn't survive the final the fight, the final battle with Peter and Miles, but he finishes the Goblin Serum, which is able to cure Harry. But Harry finds out that his dad died at the hands of Spider-Man, and then his rage combined with the formula makes him go Green Goblin and target Spider-Man, the Spider-Man. That's how I would do it. I think that would be more interesting for the story to play out that way. Small Kid, thank you so much for the 99 cents. Is there going to be Anti-Venom? They might be. That's one of my theories. Don't you think Harry would be too obvious? Well, that's the funny thing. People are convinced that Harry's going to be Venom. And I think it's more obvious that he's not going to be Venom. So it's like, regardless, I mean, just purely based on the polling, if he's Green Goblin, a lot of people are going to be very surprised. But it's Spider-Man at the end of the day. If you like look at the story, there are only so many directions you can go in. Like, you don't want them to just do something completely random. Like, most people are expecting Norman to be Green Goblin and Harry to be Venom. So just by nature of making Norman Venom and Harry Green Goblin, you're going to surprise a bunch of people. Not me, obviously, because that's my theory, but a bunch of people right there. But in terms of suits, I definitely want, I mean, I got most of the suits. As long as they bring in my favorite suits from the other games, Scarlet Spider, maybe movie accurate Miguel 2099 suit. Obviously, the symbiote suit is one of my favorite suits of all time. Gotta have, they're good on that. The only suit missing that they haven't added yet that I really want is the TASM 2. My opinion, best live action Spider-Man suit of all time. Gotta have that TASM 2 suit in this one. Gotta have it. They can't do Harry story similar to TASM. Then Harry might need Goblin to save his life, and Spider-Man could be the one to get it in his way for saving his life. Sure. Like, they could go either way. Personally, they could still make Norman Green Goblin if they want to, but I feel like Harry, for their story, makes sense as Green Goblin. Or if they want to do Hobgoblin, you know, they could go that route too. The only problem with Harry being Green Goblin is that we just had that Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah, but let's be honest, Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a terrible movie, so no one's worried about that. And if they make Norman the Green Goblin, then that's like every other incarnation of the Green Goblin. You know, that's the main comic storyline. That's the Raimi Spider-Man. Hell, that's No Way Home. Like we dealt with Norman as Green Goblin, so it would be more original for Harry to do it with Harry. Genki becoming Venom or Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin feels more like a side villain. Who will be playing the most? I'm going to be playing that symbiote the most. But when we don't have the symbiote, I'm going to be rocking out with my boy Miles, because I prefer Miles' combat much more to Peter's. That's why I'm looking forward to starting my replay of Spider-Man Miles Morales. You know, love Peter. Peter's great, but they went ham on Miles' combat. Miles' combat is so fun. I definitely prefer it to Peter's. And if I grab one of these Hot Toys, definitely want to see if I can grab Miles Morales Hot Toy. Or maybe even this one, like the, yeah, if I can do the thing, if I can get this one, that'd be pretty sick. You switch between the symbiote and normal suit, you would like. Oh yeah, you can. I think you could definitely do that. There was we found evidence in the gameplay trailer that there's going to be a suit switch option. It's under the health bar for Peter. Miles is insane. When you get the hang of his combat and you start unlocking his skills, and Miles Morales, like, combat is insane. Like going invisible, the venom punches and stuff. Oh man, Miles is just ridiculous in that game. What's up, Sing? How you feeling? You should definitely get Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. It's my favorite Spider-Man game. I'm definitely going to do a unboxing when my collector's edition arrives. For sure. I got it. got to monetize it somehow. It's $200. Your man cave is getting stat. Yeah, Jay Shockblast's man cave is just outrageous. That man needs a new house just to fit all his collectibles. But unfortunately, all the news isn't great. Like, Comic-Con is, of course, coming up, and I mentioned in my video yesterday that the live stream is not happening. I asked Ryan Penagos, the VP of Marvel Digital, and he confirmed to me that the Comic-Con panels for Spider-Man are not going to be live streamed. They're not going to make any exceptions, but they should still be able to show, you know, whatever. We're obviously not going to see everything that is presented at the panel unless someone secretly records it. But if they drop a trailer or something like that, they're definitely going to upload that online. So I'll still be able to do my live stream and we'll just react, you know, whenever they upload it. He said to, you know, keep an eye out on marvel.com. They're going to be having updates. I'm guessing they'll have blog information. But there's one other issue with San Diego Comic-Con, and that is the strike. So, as you probably know, a lot of studios aren't going to be at Comic-Con. The MCU isn't having their big showcase like they usually do because of the writer's strike. So a bunch of companies just straight up say, "All right, we're just not going to go." So Marvel's still going to have their limited presence, but now instead of the MCU headlining their Comic-Con showcase, Spider-Man 2 is going to be headlining it with their Symbiotic Relationships panel. But there's another issue. It's not just the writers that are striking now. If they don't resolve the issue, the actors are going to strike too. Now, the actors striking is a bigger issue, potentially, because the actors that's not just going to affect potentially panels that, you know, the MCU still had or people still had planned for Comic-Con, but it could affect the Spider-Man 2 panel as well, because the union said that if the strike goes through, they don't want anybody going, any actors. They don't want them at Comic-Con at all. They said you can go to Comic-Con. They would prefer if you didn't. But if you do go, you can't do press, like no press of any kind. So you can go as like an attendee, you know, maybe to do some signings, but you can't do press. Like you can't do official press for a project that you're working on. So if you were doing a movie, like for Mission Impossible, they wouldn't be able to do press for that. The actors wouldn't be able to do press for that, you know, but the voice actors for Spider-Man are also in that union. So that means, and they're supposed to be at the Comic-Con panel. That's Yuri, Tony Todd. Tony Todd's a regular actor as well. So Yuri, Tony Todd, Najee Jeter, Laura Bailey, they're all supposed to be at the Comic-Con panel for Marvel Spider-Man 2 doing Symbiotic Relationships. But if the strike goes into effect, they can't go. They can't be there. Clark coming through again with the 99 cents. Thank you so much. You are a go for that. I have no idea how old Yuri is. Looks good for his age, regardless. But yeah, he's part of the Union. Laura, Naji, they're Tony Todd. They're all part of the Union. So if their actors strike, they can't go to the Comic-Con and participate in any of the panels. So I don't think it would definitely affect the panel because they were planning an hour-long panel. But if they still have the good news there is though, even if they can't do the panel, that's obviously going to shorten the panel. But if they have like a trailer, if they have information like a blog post or something, they'll still be able to do that. They'll still be able to release that. But I'm assuming they were going to have the actors there to do Q&A. And I was particularly excited about that part because Tony Todd and Naji Jeter have a habit of saying stuff they're not supposed to when they're doing Q&As. You know, Tony Todd in particular had a habit of dropping information on Twitter he wasn't supposed to. So that's something we might not get. So that would be unfortunate, but it shouldn't be canceled. They shouldn't have to cancel it, but the part of the panel with the voice actors should be okay. No, I'm not going to Comic-Con. Do I know Caboose? Definitely check out my second channel, !podcast, the After Show podcast. Caboose was a guest on one of our episodes. It's me and Jay Shockblast. Him and Caboose had a nice conversation about Marvel Spider-Man 2 and Mortal Kombat. It was pretty fun. And he also shouted me out in his video yesterday. So shout out to Caboose. So I think Gwen is going to be in the game. That is a theory. I did a video explaining my theory. I don't know for sure if she'll be in there, obviously, but with the way the story is, they definitely have it set up. What's up, Shaquille Oatmeal? You think cutscenes will be different depending on what you choose before a cutscene, like symbiote or normal? Depending on what you choose. So the way it looks is that, I mean, obviously, if you're, it'll be just like every other game. If you manually change your suit, it will reflect that in the cutscene. But it seems like some of the story elements are definitely going to be kind of on rails. Like they're definitely going to be story missions, it seems like, where you have to have the symbiote suit on as part of it. So you won't have the option of just changing the suit. You'll just, in the cutscene, it'll be that because it's specifically designed for the symbiote. And of course, there's going to be missions where you only play as Miles. There'll just be a Miles specific mission. There's going to be just Peter missions, and there are going to be missions like in the gameplay trailer where you switch back and forth between them. Mortal Kombat looks fun. Yep. And I think I just read somewhere, apparently the boys' TikTok leaked accidentally that Homelander was going to be in Mortal Kombat 1, but that information leaked before anyway. What's up, Lawson? How you feeling? What's up, Trini? How you feeling? All right, Stephanie, have a good nap. The new advanced suit looks great. I like it. I like it more than the original advanced suit. I like the subtle changes this time around. I'm going to be mostly using the symbiote suit, but I'll, play around with it a little bit. Use the iron arms. Potential for game of the year, yes. Do I think it will win? Probably not. If history is any indication, Insomniac has, I believe, yet to win game of the year. I think you could definitely argue that Spider-Man PS4 deserved it, but based on how the voting usually goes, Spider-Man 2 is going to have to be really, really great, uniquely great, in order to win game of the year. Because even with the gameplay reveal, I saw, media members kind of hating on Spider-Man 2. Mid-invasion. That's right, Jeff. Mid-invasion. The show is awful. I just happened to be up at 3:00 in the morning, and I ended up watching. I was like, ugh. But game of the year, the voters seem to be determined to give it to Breath of the Wild 2. Otherwise, Diablo 4. I think those two are the favorites. I don't think Starfield is going to be in the running because it feels like Starfield is going to not even work at launch. So I'm not even worried about Starfield. But if Starfield is functional somehow, I think that could win Game of the Year, because there seems to be like a bit of a bias between really, big RPG games when it comes to voting. So for me, I think they're less willing to give Spider-Man 2 that shot. I think most likely it'll be Tears of the Kingdom. I think that's the odds-on favorite to win Game of the Year. Honestly, I think it's theirs to lose at this point. I would be surprised if anything other than Tears of the Kingdom won Game of the Year. Do you think Spider-Man from the other universes can be in a game? I don't think Insomniac is gonna embrace that. It's gonna be like, it was a little bit part of the comic. It was a nice Easter egg in Across the Spider-Verse, but I don't think Insomniac is actually going to use the multiverse at all in their game. You think the main villain of Spider-Man 2 is going to be Carnage? We'll see. That'd be a nice little surprise at the end. What's up, Ion VR? Will I do streams of Spider-Man 2 story? We are going to be doing we're going to do all of the coverage of Spider-Man 2. We've been covering it all year. We're going to continue to cover it on this channel after the game comes out, of course. You're going to be one of those content creators that will be able to play Spider-Man 2 early for reviews. Maybe, we'll see. It's very difficult to get early access to Sony games in general. They don't put Sony has their own thing. Usually you go through the developer, but you got to go through Sony PR, and Sony PR is really particular about who they give out codes to, but we'll see. Will they keep the symbiote suits in Marvel Spider-Man 3? We have no idea anything about Spider-Man 3. We literally know nothing about it. We'll have to actually see Spider-Man 2 and see how they handle the suit situation. How does speed look the same? Yeah, they actually proved in I know IGN did a detailed breakdown of Spider-Man 2's gameplay trailer, and they compared it to the previous games, and they confirmed that the speed in Spider-Man 2 is about twice as fast as Miles Morales and Spider-Man PS4. So it's definitely not the same. It's much faster in Spider-Man 2. Why is your Spider-Man 2 game not downloading? Because the preload date for Spider-Man 2 is October 13th, and the game is not available to play until October 20th. I think Spider-Man 2 is going to turn. I think Spider-Man is going to turn to Venom. It's definitely possible. They very heavily teased that in the gameplay trailer. We know Peter is being corrupted by the symbiote. We just don't know just how corrupted they're going to take it. But they definitely implied he could be hulking out and going full Venom. Mark your words, Mary Jane Watson will be Venom. That's quite a take. I don't think so at all. Any particular reason you're confident that Mary Jane is going to be Venom? You hope they don't have the multiverse route. Think the recent Spider-Man stabilized too much on multiple Spider-Man. I can agree. I mean, it was incredible in the Spider-Verse, but I agree that Insomniac doesn't need to do it. I like how relatively grounded their game is. I don't think they need to bring in the multiverse. Did I say Eddie had missions to become Venom? I did not say that. I've never said that. I reported there were reports from people who claimed to have insider information. There was like Hip Hop Gamer who said something about it, and there was a couple anonymous leaks that I reported on, and I said obviously take all of this with a grain of salt, especially if it's not coming from someone like Jeff Grubb. I wouldn't take it that seriously, and instead I said basically treat it like a fan theory. So I reported on that. I've been saying that Norman is my pick to be Venom for well over a month now. Is there going to be other superheroes other than Spider-Man and Miles Morales? They teased that as well. Kraven is coming. He's going to be targeting a lot of people. They specifically mentioned every Marvel character in New York. And we know from Spider-Man PS4, one of those Marvel characters is Daredevil. He actually met Spider-Man. He knows Peter is Spider-Man. Peter met him as Matt Murdock. So if anyone were to pop up as a hero in Spider-Man 2, it could be Daredevil would be the favorite. We know Jessica Jones is also in Peter's New York of Doctor Strange, of course. Do I think Bully Lowenthal will cheat on MJ? I don't think so, no. I don't think Black Cat will be about it. Do I think the Spider Arms will be good? They showed... I mean, but we pretty much know what the Spider Arms are going to be. They were literally in Spider-Man PS4. We saw a little bit of it in the reveal trailer, and we saw it in Across the Spider-Verse. Basically, it looks like they expanded the combos that you can do with the arms compared to Spider-Man PS4. And I remember the arms are pretty good. Like they could like knock off brutes. That was, one of the annoying things or the brutes in Spider-Man PS4. And if you use the arms, you can just basically plow through them. So if they, smooth it out, add some more combos like launchers and stuff, I think it'll be pretty fun. What I think about Marvel's Wolverine, it's a game I'm very much looking forward to. Cannot wait. especially with the rumors that it's going to be very bloody. I hope they have DLC. I'm surprised they haven't announced it by now. You never stop looking at the countdown for Spider-Man 2 on your PS5. I feel you. Bad news for those that missed it. We were just talking about Comic-Con earlier. Obviously, I reported yesterday. It's not the panel for Spider-Man 2 will not be live streamed. So you're basically going to have to wait until either someone who recorded it when they weren't supposed to uploads it, or until they officially release some stuff. But the bigger issue is that because of both the writer's strike and the actor strike that could happen, the voice actors who are supposed to be a part of that panel might not be allowed to go, because they were saying the voice actors, any actor who's with SAG, the union for writers and actors, anyone associated with the union, they're saying if the strike goes into effect, you shouldn't go to Comic-Con at all, but if you do, you can't do any press for your projects. You're wrong, Norman won't be Venom. I mean, we're both guessing. We're both using fan theories. My theory is based on just looking at the evidence so far. Obviously, you can't definitively say whether or not it's going to be Norman, because you obviously haven't played the game, so you're just guessing. But well, you're literally guessing because you don't work for Insomniac. you don't have the game, so yes, you are in fact guessing. You have no idea what you're talking about, which is fine. We're all just having fun coming up with fan theories. But I think based on the evidence, Norman is going to be Venom at some point in the game. Is there a chance he might fight Fisk? Of course. We saw him in he's out. We know Fisk has been making a lot of attempts to get out of the raft. So it's very, very possible that he eventually gets out. If he does, I would love for Peter to pay him a visit with the symbiote. That would be pretty sick. So they won't show anything next week at all. Oh, there's definitely show. It's crazy that it's happening so soon. Like next week is the Comic-Con. But if the panel, if the strike goes into effect, all the voice actors won't be able to attend the panel. So the panel will probably be cut short. But they still have a presentation prepared that doesn't require the voice actors. So if they have like a trailer, if they have a blog, they'll still be able to post all of that. That part won't be affected by the strike, but the actor part of the panel will be. None of the actors will be allowed to go. So I think Wolverine will have similar suits. Small kid coming through with the 99 cents again. Thank you so much. Though I think Wolverine will have like a setup like a Spider-Man with like suit powers. I don't think they'll reuse that personally. No, I think they'll have a similar system where you like unlock suits as you play through the game. I don't think they're going to have suit powers because the way they do it with Peter doesn't really make sense with Logan. The reason why they had it with Peter is because like Peter is, a genius, he does a lot of tinkering with his suits, and there's, there's a lot of tech involved. So it made sense to have powers associated with his suits based on the tech built into them, and make that part of the mission. You collect you should collect parts and stuff, and then you can use that to mod and upgrade your suit. Logan doesn't really do that. He is pretty much a weapon himself. Yeah, I'm definitely excited for Wolverine. You know, he has his healing factor, he has the adamantium skeleton, everything else. He doesn't even really need a suit at all. You know, he that's not really his thing. Am I still watching Secret? Yep, I'm literally only watching Secret Invasion because I do reviews of it for the podcast on Friday. Will there be a Marvel's Hulk? Maybe. There's EA announced their second Marvel game, the Black Panther, like we expected. So there's still a third Marvel game that EA has not announced yet, and based on what I heard from Jeff Grubb, it can literally be anything at this point. The third Marvel game is so far out and in such early development that they haven't even picked out, last I heard, who the character is going to be yet. I think Venom will be Harry. You can't fathom any other character. You might have to. Is there any possibility that EA games will be on Earth 1048? We haven't really seen anything with Spider-Man and Insomniac with him playing video games. We know that PlayStation 5 exists on Miles Morales' Earth and Across the Spider-Verse, but we haven't seen any gaming, any low name brands at all in Sonic Spider-Verse. So probably not. Probably be some equivalent. I'm sure they have video games. What's up, Hassan? You in a Venom game with Noah being the main villain? That'd be interesting. People so worried about suits when the real question you need to be asking is, what are get the rewards from New Game Plus? True. I mean, I would assume we're going to have replayable missions, or at least the replayable side stuff like they did in Spider-Man Remastered. But yeah, it is interesting what the New Game Plus is going to be. I'm assuming they'll go once again with a new difficulty unlock. But yeah, it'd be nice if they had like a nice bonus, something extra cool for completing the game and trying it on New Game Plus. Maybe like extra abilities. The Insomniac Spider-Man universe is Earth 1048. Yep, I covered that in my Marvel's Wolverine video actually. Definitely check that out if you haven't already. But there's an Easter egg in the Marvel's Wolverine trailer that seems to be showing that the Marvel's Wolverine is in the same universe as Insomniac Spider-Man. There's an Easter egg in the bar that says 1048, which is the universal designation of the Insomniac Spider-Man universe. So it seems to be them teasing that Wolverine and Spider-Man are in the same universe, which would make sense. What villains do I want in Spider-Man 2? I really want Mysterio and Sandman. Those are my big asks. Those are my side villains that I really want to see pop in there. Do I think EA is capable of making a Black Panther game? Of course. They seem very capable of making an Iron Man game. They have been very capable of making Star Wars games. I don't see how much more challenging a Black Panther game would be, especially built in Unreal 5. I have no idea how long Spider-Man 2 will be. It definitely sounds like it's going to be longer than Spider-Man PS4. At least in terms of map size, twice as large. would I rather go to Comic-Con or get the collector's edition? If I had access to Hall, if I had the ability to go to Comic-Con and I had a pass to attend Hall H for the symbiotic relations panel. Actually, I don't even know if I would prefer that, because if I went to Comic-Con and went to that panel, it's not like I would be able to live stream. Like, I would make more money not going to Comic-Con and just doing coverage at home. Like, it'd be amazing to be there in person and experience it. But if they're going to release the most important stuff anyway, then it's like I'm missing out as a content creator. My theory of Venom is he'll be Norman. EA, the same people who made NBA Live 2019. That's the funny thing. I'm noticing that all the people who are hating on EA, almost all, like 99.9% of the time, if you ask them why they hate EA or why they don't think the Black Panther game will be good, they almost always mention a sports game, which shows that most of the EA hate is from people that really don't play that many games. Because it doesn't make any sense to think, because especially with the comments I'm hearing, like, oh, Black Panther is going to have microtransactions and everything like that. You can literally tell people who don't play any EA games outside of, like, they played Madden one year or they played FIFA one year, like bringing up NBA Live, like a literal dead franchise. Like, you can definitely tell most of the people who hate EA only played like a sports game, because EA has been putting out great single player games for literal years. Occasionally you'll find someone who's still hurt over Anthem, but mostly, almost in 100% of the time, someone who says Black Panther or Iron Man is going to be bad because EA have are basing their entire argument on live service games that they played from EA. Like, oh, the single player game is going to be bad because it's completely different genre of game from a completely different studio. I didn't like it. Like, it literally makes no sense. You think a single player Black Panther game built in Unreal Engine 5 is going to be bad because you didn't like the live service soccer game built in Frostbite? Like, what are we talking about? Like, that literally makes no sense. You're crying because of Secret Invasion because it's so bad? Yeah, same. I have the same urge. Faith theory: Norman will be Venom while Harry will become Green Goblin. Yep, that's pretty much what I was talking about earlier. He hate what they done to Madden, but the Jedi games are dope. That's what I'm saying. Like, I haven't played Madden since 2006. I literally don't care. The only sports game I play is NBA 2K, and I don't even play it like competitively. I bought it on sale for like $20, and I only play my GM. Like, I don't care about sports games that much anymore. I don't play Madden. I play EA exclusively right now for their single player games. And they've been crushing it. EA, the hate about EA is like literally based on people who don't really pay that much attention. Like, there are people literally who who played Jedi Fallen Order and didn't even realize EA published that game. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, I already covered the news. Everyone missing who just came in for the news. Just a fast recap. We went over the Hot Toys for Spider-Man 2 that were just revealed, and I broke down the situation with Comic-Con. Not only is it not being live streamed, the Spider-Man 2 panel, but the panel is in danger of being disrupted because there's an actor strike. And if it goes through, actors won't be able to attend Comic-Con for doing press for their projects, which means all the voice actors for Spider-Man 2 who are supposed to be part of that hour-long panel won't be able to go. Is Iron Man going to be PS4? Every game from here on out that's a AAA game, which all the big games coming out in the future, in the case of Iron Man, that's going to be 2025, maybe. All of those games are going to be, there's no more PS4. They're not doing that anymore. We're in year 3 of the new console generation, and they're already making PlayStation and Xbox Series SX exclusive games. Like the big steals already this year are not making PS4 compatible games. So yes, in the future, in 2024, 2025, it's done. If you want to play these games, you're going to need to upgrade. Like there's no way around it anymore. Like we're literally in year 3 of the new console generation. And they're already not doing PS4 games anymore for big releases. So yeah, now we're talking 2024, 2025. Yeah, there's no more PS4. If you want to play these games, you need a PC, or you're going to need to upgrade. They have not released the performance information for Spider-Man 2. There was some information. They released the preload information, and it's going to be 1 disc. It's preloads on the 13th, and it might be 100 gigs plus. How do I feel about the Wolverine suit and Deadpool 3? Looks great. I feel like Deadpool 3 might be the savior of the MCU. Like that's literally the only MCU project at this point that I'm actually looking forward to. Everything about Deadpool 3 that I'm seeing and hearing sounds like it's going to be like the first MCU project that's going to make money in a long time. It's going to be R-rated. You got Ryan Reynolds back. You got Hugh Jackman, and they're actually giving him the yellow suit. They're gonna have all these old cameos. They even have freaking Jennifer Gardner's Elektra coming in there, so you know the cameos are going to be insane. Like, I cannot wait for that movie. Next stream is going to probably be Friday or Saturday. Well, obviously every Friday we do the after show podcast on my second channel. Definitely hit that up. Definitely check that out. If there's any more Spider-Man 2 news, we'll do another stream on Friday. Otherwise, our next stream is going to be on Saturday. We're going to continue our playthrough of Spider-Man Remastered. I'm going to be doing the second DLC, the heist. The one after the heist. We did the heist last Saturday. I actually got 100% completion also while I was just playing around with it. You'll be disappointed if it'll be 30 FPS. Insomniac always do 60 FPS. Insomniac is big on performance. They always do 60. We always do 60. So I'm expecting for Spider-Man 2, you're going to have the usual, just like they had with Miles Morales and Remastered. You're going to have fidelity mode, you're going to have performance, and you're going to have the performance RT, that hybrid between the two, where you still get high performance, but you also get good fidelity. Insomniac always goes crazy when it comes to performance, so yeah. exclamation mark podcast in the chat. Definitely check us out. Me and the homie J Shock Blast, Casual Avenger as well, when he's not eating deep dish. So here's the thing about Playable Venom. I feel like people who are asking for Playable Venom, I feel like everyone doesn't want the same thing. Like for me, Playable Venom, and definitely go sub to the second channel. We're actually almost at 500 subs. So if everyone right now watching subbed, we hit our 500 sub goal on the second channel. Definitely check it out. Great podcast. We actually posted our Secret Invasion review yesterday. But for me, for Playable Venom, I don't necessarily for the actual game, I don't want it to just be like, oh, Venom's just playable, free roam. I feel like it should be part of the story, like kind of a set piece thing. Because you're kind of already going to be, because you're Peter with the symbiote, you're kind of already going to get the experience of Venom to a degree. But I think it would make sense to have like, depending on who Venom is. Like if Venom is, like if Peter does turn into Venom, then it would make sense to have some set piece missions where you're chasing Miles or something that could be interesting. But just having a free roaming Venom really wouldn't fit this game. It would make sense as a DLC. Maybe if they wanted to do a DLC based on Eddie Brock or somebody, or, you know, the host, and just have that transition, that would make sense. Venom won't be playable. We don't know. Obviously, we don't know if he'll be playable. I think he definitely won't be playable in terms of like free roaming, like a legit third character. But depending on who Venom is, like if Venom is Peter, I could definitely see where there are story set piece moments where you're operating from Peter's perspective. But I don't think it'll be like a full playable, like own skill tree type of deal. I don't think they're going to do it like that. No. Maybe one day someone will make a Venom game, but for now, I don't think it's happening. I don't think, well, we already had probably the best Deadpool game we're ever going to get. Came out many years ago. Still holds up. Amazing game. With the way gaming is now, I have a hard time believing somebody would make a legitimate Deadpool game. Definitely not like how they did it back then. Like it feels like Western gaming is like, it would have to be an Eastern studio with like a lot of creative control, because I feel like Western gaming these days is way too sanitized. Like there's no way they would put half the stuff they put in the old Deadpool game in a current one. Like there's just no way. So I feel like it wouldn't even be worth doing. We have no indication that Carnage is going to be in the game, other than there's symbiotes. It's definitely possible. That's a great thing about the symbiote storyline. It has so many different directions it could go in. And Insomniac likes to trick people. You know, people thought Martin Lee was going to be the main villain in Spider-Man PS4. And then they said, surprise, is actually the Sinister Six, but you only saw 5 of the 6 members. So people had no idea who that last member is. And then it was like, surprise, actually, the main final villain is actually going to be Dr. Octopus. So they very well could be like, yeah, it's all about Venom, the symbiote threat. Then you're going to have Kraven the Hunter and Lizard. And then by the end of the game, it's actually, surprise, Carnage is the main villain. So you never know. I think Peter is almost definitely going to survive Spider-Man 2. If Spider-Man 2 is going to lose anybody, it'll probably be Harry, maybe or MJ, or like Miles's mom. I think Peter is safe. If you're waiting for the next Spider-Man 2 trailer, you're definitely going to want to tune into this channel next week for my San Diego Comic-Con coverage. How do I feel about Microsoft buying Activision? I don't care really about that whole console war nonsense. Like, obviously, both companies were doing a lot of capping. Sony was pretending like Xbox buying Activision was going to put them out of business or something, and Xbox was pretending that the reason why they were buying Activision Blizzard is to help the players and all this other stuff, when in reality they actually are just acquiring all these companies so that they can destroy PlayStation. It's so obvious, it's nonsense. Both Sony and Microsoft are basically in an arms race, trying to own as many studios as possible so that they can keep putting out exclusives for their own platforms to try to beat the other. And so far, Sony is winning that battle, and Microsoft is trying to compete by buying Activision Blizzard. I don't think it matters. At the end of the day, I want both Sony and Microsoft to be healthy, because competition is good for all of us. I don't want one to destroy the other. I think healthy competition between them is good. But I hope they don't go too overboard with buying studios just so they can take popular games that are multi-platform and making them exclusive. I don't particularly like that very much. But it is what it is. What's up, Kool-Aid? There will definitely be more than 2 Spider-Man games. We could get a Carnage glimpse at the end of Spider-Man 2. He could be the main villain in Spider-Man 2. We have no idea. A lot is possible with the symbiote storyline. You can't get a PS5. Well, you're going to need a PC, because you ain't getting Spider-Man 2 otherwise. If you don't have a PS5 or a PC, you ain't playing this game, unfortunately. Xbox has never had good exclusives. That's definitely not true. The main reason I had an Xbox 360 was because of Fable. I love Fable. It's unfortunate, Xbox has been struggling lately with their first party exclusives. Obviously they had a nice history, Halo, Forza, but personally, I'm not interested in those games. Halo used to be really good, but wasn't really something I was big into. Heard a lot of people weren't impressed by Halo Infinite. I don't care about car games, so Forza does nothing for me. So really, for me, Xbox, I only really cared about Fable. But other people like their other games. But now they got Starfield because they bought Bethesda. So that's the reason why they're buying so many studios. They want to have more first party exclusives. They got a State of Decay supposed to be coming out. They still got Gears. Elder Scrolls is supposed to be exclusive. You're getting PS5 in 2 weeks. Congrats. You worked 5 weeks this summer. That's the move. If you ain't got it, get a job, hustle. Stop the cat. We know the real main villain is Uncle Ben. Stop Bruno. That would be hilarious if Uncle Ben was like secretly alive and was being kept in a tank at Oscorp with a symbiote attached to him. He just ends up breaking out and becoming, and he turns out he's Venom. that'd be wild. Money carries Xbox. Yeah, pretty much. Microsoft has a lot of money to throw around. It hasn't helped them, so far, but eventually maybe it will. Uncle Ben is Venom calling it out. That'd be insane. What's up, Lako? Yeah, literally the only Xbox game I care about is Fable. Nothing else that I saw from Xbox interested me. That's why I ended up getting the PlayStation 5. I mean, there's going to be a lot of great Marvel games coming out that are going to be available on Xbox as well. Like the Marvel games from EA, those are going to be multi-platform. So you may not get Spider-Man if you're on Xbox, but at least you'll get, the Iron Man game, the Black Panther game, the Black Panther and Captain America game, whatever that third Marvel game is. It'll be tough. Who is Venom? I think it's Norman. What do I think the graphics on PS6 will look like? I have no idea. The jump from PS4 to PS5 wasn't that spectacular from a graphical perspective. The same might be the case here. We might, or actually no, because based on, it could be the one leap that I could see happening, that video game, that first person shooter that literally looks like completely photorealistic. Like it literally just, people actually thought it was like live footage and not an actual game. It's possible the PS6 could replicate that at scale, since that game is going to be on, I think, on current gen and PC. Yeah, unrecord. Maybe more games will be able to do that at scale on PS6 and the next Xbox. Otherwise, probably another steady increase in graphics, but mainly in performance and capability. While we playing 2K24, probably not. Fidelity is near capped at this point. We'll see frames increase. Yeah, at the very least, you would hope that I assume most games won't be looking like unrecord anyway. But at the bare minimum, maybe we'll be at a point where games aren't locked at 30 FPS at launch, and console will finally be like 60 to 120 as like a baseline, just like with PC. Maybe that generation will finally be the one where console is like on par with how PCs have been, 60 to 120. But yeah, just looking at the graphics for some of the games, like Unrecord, obviously the big outlier, but like if you look at the Dead Space remake and some of the other, it's like some of the facial, the way how realistic the faces look, it's not going to get that much more realistic than that. You'll probably just see more games be able to live up to that quality. Do I think Calypso will be in Spider-Man 2? I don't. Peter might be. If Peter's not Venom in Spider-Man 2, I don't think he'll be Venom in Spider-Man 3. I mean, if he's Venom in Spider-Man 2, he'll obviously lose the symbiote, and then they'll do something different in Spider-Man 3. Is it true the next giveaway is a trip to the Dominican Republic? Definitely not. I would never give away a trip to the Dominican Republic. If I was gonna do a trip as a giveaway, I would send y'all to Bora Bora. "60 FPS will start with PS5 Pro." We'll see. If you're still on PS4, you're gonna have a tough time. The facial expressions in Marvel Spider-Man are so realistic. Just imagine Marvel Spider-Man 2. I mean, I've seen some crazy facial expressions already with some of these other games that came out. So I'm skeptical that it'll get that much crazier on PS6, but we'll see. We don't know yet, Chris, what suits are going to be in Spider-Man 2 other than the ones they've already shown. Maybe they'll give that information at Comic-Con. I have zero problems with Ben Jordan's Peter, and I think everyone that's still harassing Ben Jordan on social media about it need to get over it. It happened over 2 years ago. I like the face. Literally, it doesn't matter. How can they make Peter better in Spider-Man 3? He won't have the black suit anymore. Maybe they'll give him more gadgets, some more moves. Who knows? I mean, Peter at the end of the day is Peter. You know, he has a very baseline power set. You know, the enhancements he gets are usually, you know, either tech or, the symbiote. I don't think they're going to go with the cosmic Spider-Man route. I mean, they could always go superior Spider-Man, but I don't think they'll. I mean, they could. They've set that storyline up already as an option, but I doubt it. Got hustle for some cash for PS5 or PC. Facts. You think Craven will be a good guy? Definitely not. What's up, JR? How you feeling? Hopefully get. Oh yeah, please, Black Cat. Please, plenty of Black Cat. Every character we saw in the trailer Spider-Man 2 will big appearance. Probably. There's a decent chance. I mean, the most important one they showed besides Black Cat was Shocker. we gotta have Shocker for the culture. If Shocker is not in this game with the symbiote, I will be very disappointed. We gotta have a Shocker versus symbiote Peter moment, and Yuri absolutely has to do the voice. I need him to go full Sasuke. I need it. That would be such a missed opportunity if we have Shocker and symbiote and we don't get it. That would truly be tough. I'll legitimately be happy. If all else fails, if we get the Shocker and Peter moment, I'll be happy. That's gonna be just hilarious. Shocker! Set this up real quick. Got a new video dropping right after this one. Stay tuned for that. Small Kid, thank you for the 99 cents again. You are a legend. Get back here, Shocker. We need a symbiote Peter and JJ. Oh man, the JJ's parts of this game are going to be hilarious, especially now that he runs the bugle. But if him, oh man, if he runs in the symbiote Peter, actually, this is going to be interesting because if Peter is legitimately, because we saw how he saved that civilian in the gameplay trailer by injuring him. Like Jameson, people basically have dismissed Jameson for, because of his crazy Spider-Man takes. But if symbiote Peter is actually being a menace, then not only are there going to be legitimate reports from Jameson that he doesn't have to lie about of Peter acting up, but if Peter's listening, what if you're just swinging and Jameson's going off on Peter, on Spider-Man being a menace while you got the symbiote suit, and you just all of a sudden just decide to pull up to the bugle and give Jameson these hands. Yo, that'd be crazy. Imagine that. You just swing to the bugle, you break in, you grip up Jameson until while he's doing this show. And Miles has to break in and be like, yo, chill, Pete. Maybe MJ's there too, and he scares MJ because she works there. Yo, that'd be insane. Or maybe Eddie Brock comes in. Maybe they're in a meeting, and Eddie Brock is there, and Pete just breaks in and grips up JJ, and Eddie Brock is like, "Yo, Spider-Man," and then he just punches Eddie in the face or just backhands him like that. Like that would be insane. That's the start of Eddie's villain arc, and that's the first time they actually could legitimately call him a menace. Yo, that'd be amazing. Did I hear about the Miles Morales solo movie? Yep, live action. Spider-Man gonna get some dirt in Jameson's eyes. What if Black Suit Peter says, "I'll show you a shocker"? Hey, no, pause. Do I think Taskmaster will be brought back? Yeah, it's definitely possible. According to Craven's map, he's still around. I know they originally had Taskmaster in there because a certain organization hired him to evaluate Peter. Maybe if Peter has the symbiote suit, he'll be more willing to take that offer, make him some extra money. I think they said a 6-figure gig that Taskmaster said they were offering. That'd be something. I definitely don't think Spider-Man is going to beat MJ in the new gameplay trailer. No, I don't think Insomniac is going to show that. What do you think? They're the Venoms in the game we haven't seen yet. My money is on Sandman and Mysterio. I'm rooting for them. Sandman, I mean, I feel like him being in a vial is very unsecure, and they're just begging for that thing to be popped open. They also set up Morbius in the first game. One of the alias of Michael Morbius in the comics was established in the first game with Dr. Michaels. So if they want to go Morbius, they've already established him in the universe. And Morbius would kind of fit the theme of the game. Spider-Man comes out on October 20th, midnight. I think Norman is going to be Venom. Did I know in Spider-Man PS4 during the Taskmaster challenge, Taskmaster was watching you the whole time? Yep. He straight up says that he's been watching you the whole time. There's even a challenge where you're trying to take out drones that he was using to surveil you in the city. Morbius would definitely fit the kind of horror theme. You know, they're big on monsters. You know, Venom, the monster Venom. You got the lizard. You know, they have some horror elements there. And you throw in Morbius, I think he would fit pretty well. I think they're gonna save Green Goblin for the next game. I think Green Goblin will be established in Spider-Man 2. Like they'll set it up definitively for the next game, but I don't think you're gonna fight Green Goblin or anything like that. I think they have enough major villains. I think they're gonna take their main villains and they're just gonna bring in some side villains and then tease and set up the big threats for the next game. Jealous Xbox players. For those that missed it, next week, wow. It's still crazy that next week is going to be Comic-Con. But yeah, just be on the lookout. There may be a disruption to the Spider-Man 2 Comic-Con panel because of the actors' strike. The actors are not, if the strike happens, which it looks like it will, the actors will not be allowed to be there and do press, which means all the Spider-Man 2 actors that were supposed to do the panel for Spider-Man 2 Symbiotic Relationships won't be there. I hope Big Will is in the game. It's about time. I definitely would rather have Big Will and Paste Pot Pete than have more screwball challenges. Appreciate the subs, random channels. I really wish the panels was streamed. I hope they change that in the future, but if we get a new trailer, they're going to upload it, so we'll still be able to watch it anyway. So that'll be legit. The actors and the writers are striking. Basically, it's mainly about money, as usual. Money, more benefits for the unions. They don't think they're getting enough of either. There's been a lot of money. Hollywood's, a lot of studios have been losing money, you know, through part, you know, in the case of Disney, because they keep putting out garbage. And, you know, there's a lot of projects that are over budget, even supposedly movies that are supposed to be smaller. And there's a lot of issues with streaming. You know, there's a lot of money pumped into streaming, but it's unclear exactly what the numbers on streaming really are. They're not very transparent with that. And the writers and actors are basically feeling like, yeah, we want, the writers in particular, they're like, yeah, we want a bigger cut. We want more money. We want more benefits. And the actors are pretty much in the same boat. They want more perks, more money. I feel like the writers probably have a stronger argument. I feel like actors have always been pretty well compensated, except for voice actors, but American voice actors for the most part do pretty well that are in the union. But yeah, I felt like voice actors always had the stronger argument for not being treated well, but especially over in Japan with, you know, like and dealing with Japanese companies and dealing with the anime industry. The voice actors for anime, they don't make anything. It's actually disgusting. What's up, Raz? But yeah, the actors over here, they have some issues, so it looks like they're striking if they can't make a deal. Why does Stephanie McGuire comments keep getting deleted? Are they getting deleted or retracted? Because retracted means they are deleting their own comment. Well, as an example, Disney canceled it because they wanted to save a couple of $1,000, but Netflix saved it. Yeah, there was there was Willow, and there was another movie. I think there was a Kid Cudi movie. Yeah, Disney has been losing a lot of money on Disney Plus, and if their movies weren't doing so poorly, they probably wouldn't have to do stuff like this. But yeah, the budgets on their shows are getting smaller. They're now cutting shows that aren't performing to their standards from the platform entirely to save money. Even shows that or movies that literally just hit the platform like for a month. Like it's getting wild. Disney's really starting to feel the impacts of all of pretty much since phase 4 started. They've been losing a lot of money. Like Disney Plus has not brought in enough subscribers, and they're not generating enough money. You know, a lot of their shows aren't doing very well. Their movies have just been consistently losing money. They're spending they're going way over budget because of reshoots, and they're having those issues with the VFX, and the quality overall has not been very high. That's why a lot of these movies haven't been making money, so they're losing like hundreds of millions of dollars. It's been pretty bad. Yeah, follow my podcast over on the second channel. Nightbot just dropped it right there. We cover Spider-Man, we cover movies, the MCU, DCU, and we've been doing reviews of Secret Invasion every week. We just posted our review of the last basically 3 episodes yesterday on our channel, so definitely go check that out. Can I at least agree that it's possible that Harry will be Venom? It's possible, sure. I don't think it's likely, because the symbiote has very clearly rejected Harry as a host. So narrative-wise, I'm not seeing the likelihood of Harry being Venom, since the host, to be Venom, the host has to be accepted by the symbiote. The symbiote has to want to bond with you. That's why Peter is running around with a black suit on, slapping bad guys in the face with tentacles, because the symbiote wants Peter and bonded with him. And Harry is still stuck floating in a tank because the symbiote wants nothing to do with him. It seems to be pretty obvious. What's my wish list for Spider-Man PS4? For Spider-Man 4? I don't have one. I'm waiting for Spider-Man 2. I'll play that. And once I'm done with that, I'll look towards the future. Let's say inject him with a super soldier serum. You'd be grateful if someone here helps to get a PS4. I mean, PS4s are pretty easy to get. I think you want a PS5 because they ain't gonna be making PS4 games anymore. Well, the symbiote wants Harry, but he's not healthy. I mean, that's the literal issue there. That's why Peter ends up running around with it. He's not healthy. They wanted the suit. They wanted the symbiote to heal him. It's not healing him because it doesn't want him. So it's going to go to someone else. It's reaching out to Norman. It ends up on Peter somehow. The whole Harry being Venom thing doesn't look very good here. Like Peter, we know from the gameplay trailer, Harry is still in bad shape. Peter has the symbiote. It's bonded with him. Connors has reverted back to Lizard. He's trying to track down Connors as the symbiote to try to get him, I guess, back to normal. so that he can go back to treating Harry. Because if the symbiote was a treatment for Harry, he would need Connors. He would just give it back to Harry. But clearly it's not working. And he ends up getting the suit. So he's going to use that to track down Connors, presumably so he can work out some kind of other treatment. That's why I like my Goblin theory, because it makes sense if he's tracking down Connors that they need Connors to come up with a different formula. And that's where I think Connors is going to come up with the Goblin formula to treat Harry. Because if clearly the symbiote, they've confirmed, doesn't work on Harry. It doesn't want him. It's not healing him. And Peter gets it. So if they need Connors, it's to come up with an alternative to the symbiote. So if Connors comes up with an alternative to the symbiote in the form of, say, the Goblin formula, then the Goblin formula will heal Harry if it works correctly, which we assume it will. In which case, he's not going to be Venom because he doesn't need a symbiote at that point. If the symbiote can't cure Harry and they come up with another cure, why would Harry need to become Venom? The only reason they even using the symbiote is as an experiment because Norman was desperately trying to find a way to treat Harry's condition, but they've established the symbiote doesn't work. So if they come up with another way, that eliminates him even more as a host for the symbiote because then he doesn't need it anymore. Harry's not a fighter. He doesn't have any stake in the fight. He doesn't hate Spider-Man. He's not involved in the beef. He's just a sick kid who needs help. He has no reason to be Venom if they find an alternative. He's gonna wish he never came to New York. Yeah, that was tough. I should make theory vids instead of these live streams. I do both. That's the beautiful thing about my channel. I do a wide variety of content. I do news videos, I do theory videos, I do live streams of just talking and coming up with theories or covering news. I do live streams where I cover games. I do shorts. I've done comedy stuff. I do all sorts of stuff on the channel. Definitely check out my videos so you can have a bigger picture of what the channel is for. Your theory is that Wraith is the mastermind villain? Mastermind? I don't know about a mastermind, but I can definitely see Wraith getting tangled up with Kraven. Because Yuri's whole thing is that she's tired of trying to deal with all these super criminals as a cop. She feels like, the let's arrest them and hope they don't break out later way doesn't work. It's best to just boom, deal with them like that. So I definitely think she'll be involved in the story because naturally she's probably going to clash with Peter and Miles if she's, dropping bodies. What if the Goblin formula heals Harry and the symbiote somehow finds its way back to Harry? Sure, but why? Why would it find its way back to Harry? He doesn't need it. He doesn't have negative intentions. He doesn't want to be a superhero. Why would it find its way back to Harry? If Peter has the suit, if Peter loses the suit, it's going to be because it corrupted him to the point where Miles has to fight. Miles is probably going to have to fight him in order to get the suit off of him. So if they get the suit off of him, they're not just going to hand it back to Harry. They're not just going to hand it to Harry. Like, what are we talking about here? Now, I remember, I think it was the 90s cartoon he lost, and I think they recreated this in the Raimi suit, but he loses the suit in the bell tower, and it ends up falling on Eddie Brock, who's nearby. So if they capture the symbiote after getting it off of him, there's no way it's going to get to Harry. Like, they would have no reason to get there. But if it falls off of him and it just goes out into the streets, then it has even less reason to go to Harry, because unless Harry's there for some reason, like, which he would have no reason to be. Like, like what are you talking about? It would have no reason to go to Harry. It has no reason. As I was like, it has no reason to go to Harry. Well, there's two endings: one where you get rid of the symbiote, and one where you keep it. That'd be interesting, like kind of a choose your own path kind of thing. I don't think they're going to go in that route, but could be. Why wouldn't he have a reason? For everything I've just outlined, Harry doesn't hate Peter. He doesn't hate Spider-Man. He's not a fighter. He's just a dude. He does science experiments for fun. You know, he set up those research stations to help the environment. Why would he need? What reason would he have? Norman, on the other hand, has a reason to weaponize Venom, to be Venom, to weaponize a symbiote. Norman is a bad guy. He's always getting into some stuff. There's a lot of people that don't want Norman to be alive. There's a lot of people who have a problem with Norman. And Norman's just a general bad person who wants power. Yes, Norman has been a bad guy for the last 2 games. Yes. One of the Dr. Octavius's whole villain arc was created because of how much he hates Norman, because of how terrible Norman is. Yes, that's a fact. It's a fact. We literally just played it on stream. Octavius hates Norman because Norman is a terrible person. He shut down his research. Norman is awful. Miles Morales had his run-ins with Norman. Is what everyone hates Norman. He's a terrible person. Yes, Doc Ock was mentally unstable, but he hated Norman before that because Norman's a terrible person. He literally shut his research down. He shut his project down. It doesn't have nothing to do with his mental illness. He hates Norman because Norman's a terrible person. Norman shut his research down. What do you mean? What do you mean he's mental? Norman's terrible. There's a terrible person. Everyone's trying to take out Norman. The other villain of the game, Martin Lee, his whole plan was trying to kill Norman because Norman is a terrible person. Everyone hated Norman, bro. What are we talking about right now? Everyone in that game hated Norman. Are you kidding me? Dr. Octavius hated Norman because Norman shut his project down. He's trying to take him out. Martin Lee's trying to take him out. Like, what are we talking about? Everyone's trying to take out Norman. Miles Morales lost his father because Martin Lee was trying to blow up Norman. What are we talking about? Yeah, facts. Norman has hella ops. He has so many ops. What are we talking about, bro? What are we talking? What are we saying? Everyone hates Norman. Of course he would have a reason to get the symbiote. Everyone's trying to take him out all the time because he's terrible. And now Craven's in the picture. And that could go a whole direction because it looks like Craven might be getting supplied with weapons by Oscorp because he's trying to capture Lizard and the symbiote. So that whole arrangement can easily blow up, because if Norman is working with Kraven, Kraven's definitely going to betray him, because Kraven isn't in it for the money at the end of the day. Kraven is in it for the thrill of the hunt. That's what Kraven is all about. So if he's working with Norman, he's eventually going to betray Norman. So that's another reason for Norman to potentially want the symbiote. if Kraven does something crazy like break everyone out of the raft so that the city is flooded with challengers, then all of a sudden Norman has more ops coming for him. like Norman's definitely going to need something. Kraven the Hunter movie review? I'm definitely not reviewing that movie, because I'm definitely not watching that movie. Ain't no way. The trailer was enough for me. As soon as I saw that lion's blood drip into Kraven with his American accent, I was out. I bailed out. Norman is the opposite of I have no enemies. Facts. If also going on this rant, do you blame chat? See goofy facts. King Feng might want to pull up on Norman for stealing his title as mayor. That too. Though he had to step down because of, the Devil's Breath incident. Say Norman's going to need something. He doesn't have the Goblin formula yet. That's the thing. There's no Goblin formula as far as we know yet. But in theory, the reason behind the Goblin formula would be as a treatment for Harry. Remember, they're trying to find an alternative treatment for Harry because the symbiote doesn't work. Here's our Kraven takes out someone close to Peter. That's definitely possible. It's probably going to be a zombie suit in Spider-Man 2. Maybe. Hopefully Mary Jane. How strong is Norman with the Goblin serum? In the comics, depends. Definitely with the whole Goblin boost, he's strong enough to fight on par with Peter and overpower him in some cases. So yeah, pretty big boost. For those that missed it, we went over because we're about to wrap up soon. We got a new video dropping covering the latest with Superman Legacy, but we covered the Hot Toys and we were talking about the situation with Comic-Con. Obviously, I covered it in my video yesterday. No live stream for the panel, but the panel might also get disrupted because of the actor strike. It's not just a writer strike that's affecting Comic-Con. The actors looks like they're about to strike as well. And if that happens, that means the actors won't be there. It won't be allowed to promote their projects, which means the Comic-Con panel for Spider-Man 2 is going to be a lot shorter because none of the actors are going to be allowed to be there if the strike goes through. Do I think Microsoft will try to spin Sony out of business like the emails did? Yes, they both are. It's for their pretty much their entire existence. Sony and Microsoft, since they first created the Xbox and PlayStation, Sony and Xbox have been trying to destroy each other. There's nothing new there. That's not a new thing. They've been doing that since the very beginning. That's how this whole console war thing started. That's the nature of the business. Sony comes up with a console, they want to be the best. Microsoft decides to get into the console business, they want to be the best, and they've been at it ever since. Sony wants to destroy Xbox, Xbox wants to destroy Sony, back and forth we go. I think we're gonna get a trailer at the very least at Comic-Con. Werby's about to pull up on Norman for the Devil's Breath. Yo, that would be tough. Bro, that's another op for Norman, bro. I just realized if Morbius is in this game, he's gonna want Norman too. Because of all the stuff Norman put him through. This man Norman got ops everywhere. That's going to be actually insane. All the people that hate Norman Osborn. He's definitely going to need to become Venom just to survive. Everybody is coming after this man. The strike looks like it's definitely happening, unfortunately. They have not announced anything about the playability of Venom. Sega is not really a thing. Nintendo exists. Nintendo is doing better than Xbox. Right now, the market leader is Sony and the PlayStation. Even though Nintendo is basically just riding the Switch and not focusing on coming up with any new systems, they've been selling tremendously well in their niche. Sony does about making good games though. Yeah, they seem to have very different goals. Like Xbox obviously wants to have first party exclusives that are good to make people want an Xbox, but they're really bad at doing that. That's the main reason they're trying to buy so many studios. But they're also really dedicated to cloud gaming. They think that's going to be the future. So that's why they're putting so much into Game Pass. All right. So appreciate everyone for hanging out. Definitely check out my new video dropping right now on Superman Legacy. That Green Lantern announcement and reveal is crazy. Definitely check that out. I'm Sadot the Gamer, signing out. Actually, I'll be back. When will I be back? We'll do a live stream on maybe Friday. We'll see if there's news. Otherwise, we got the Saturday. We got the Saturday play. We're going to be playing Spider-Man Remastered. And next week, of course, is going to be Comic-Con. So be on the lookout for that. I'll see y'all then.